Imagine, 2,000 years ago, you desperately need to go to the bathroom, and there's no bathroom. Just bushes, fear, and one very persistent thought: what if something hungry is nearby? Today we're breaking down how humanity solved the most awkward, everyday problem in its entire history and why an ordinary toilet is quietly one of civilization's greatest inventions. Smash that like button if you're ready to look at your bathroom differently after this. Let's start with the harsh truth. Early humans had no door, no lock, not even the concept of privacy. The group moved constantly, slept under open sky, and when nature called, a person simply stepped away. Sounds simple, but in that exact moment, they were the most vulnerable creature on the planet. Not running, not watching their surroundings, not ready to defend themselves. Predators knew this perfectly well. A lone figure away from camp was practically a delivered meal. It's no accident that many animals today still relieve themselves quickly and cautiously. That's not squeamishness, that's survival instinct. But more dangerous than predators was a smaller enemy, their own waste. As long as people kept moving, things were simple. Do your business, the group moves on, and the sun, soil, and bugs clean up behind you. Problems started the moment humans decided to settle down. With the first settlements, people rediscovered something civilization seems to relearn every few centuries. Living next to filth is a terrible idea. In cramped mud brick villages, waste piled up right at the doorstep, well water quietly turned toxic, and flies became a full-blown disease delivery service. Waste to food, food to child, and round again. Agriculture gave people bread, but it came bundled with intestinal infections and dramatically shorter lives. Fun fact, by the way, archaeologists can literally reconstruct entire civilizations' diets and health from ancient waste. It's an actual field of study, and as funny as it sounds, it tells us more than plenty of written records do. The first real breakthrough happened in the cities of the ancient Indus Valley civilization, where homes had separate rooms for washing and clever drainage systems built right into the streets. The idea was revolutionary. Waste should move away from people, not the other way around. Then Rome entered the picture, and here the story gets both grand and deeply strange. The Romans built aqueducts, bathhouses, roads, and public latrines, where people sat in rows on stone benches with zero partitions, casually chatting about the news. Privacy, zero. But running water flowed right under the seats, and by the standards of the time, this was peak engineering. As for personal hygiene in Rome, you might want to sit down for this one. Instead of toilet paper, they used a stick with a sponge on the end, which after use was rinsed in a shared bowl of water or vinegar and left for the next person. Yes, one sponge for everyone. If you just winced a little, congratulations. Your self-preservation instinct is working fine. Sewage systems didn't solve everything, though. They carried away the visible, not the invisible. Parasites and infections kept traveling comfortably through the whole city. After Rome's fall, much of Europe slid backward. A chamber pot under the bed, a cesspit in the yard, and sometimes the street itself served as a shared drain, with the added bonus of contents occasionally arriving on your head straight from a second-floor window. That's exactly why tall platform shoes weren't really about fashion. They were basic safety gear against free-falling waste. Even castles were far less romantic than the movies suggest. The toilet was often just a stone ledge jutting from the wall, with everything dropping straight down to the base of the fortress. Impressive banners up top, a very specific atmosphere down below. Special mention goes to the people who cleaned city cesspits at night, dangerous, brutal, thoroughly thankless work. Without them, medieval cities would have simply drowned in their own filth, though of course nobody built them any monuments. The real turning point came in the 19th century, when big cities grew so large that old methods simply stopped working. Contaminated well water looked perfectly clean while quietly spreading epidemics, and cholera became one of humanity's cruelest teachers until people finally connected outbreaks to dirty water instead of bad air or divine punishment. That's when cities started building real underground sewer systems, the invisible infrastructure without which no modern metropolis could exist. And now back to your bathroom. Press a button, everything disappears. No flies, no cesspits, no Roman sponge, no predator in the bushes. An ordinary toilet nobody thinks twice about is actually the result of thousands of years of trial, epidemics, and some deeply unpleasant discoveries. Not as flashy as a moon landing, but arguably far more important for surviving each and every day. If you found this interesting, subscribe and tell me in the comments, which modern invention would you absolutely not have survived without in the past? The toilet, it seems, is quietly winning that vote today.